What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. Let's talk a little bit about Thursday night football. Battle in Miami down there. It's going to be the Dolphins and the Jaguars. Before we get going, as always, please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. We really do appreciate you going ahead and supporting this channel. And look, everything's free that we do. Everything we do at the Lines is free. This channel's free. So really do appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, and give us a thumbs up and let us know in that comment section how you're going to play the game. This is an interesting game. I think on paper, people probably look at this and go, Dolphins and the Jaguars. But as I dug into this thing a little bit, I think this could be an interesting game. And we got a write-up here on the Lines, as you can see. So just head to thelines.com, get you a full write-up of everything that's going on. But you can see the lines that are going on right here. So let's go ahead and check them out, shall we? We'll sit over here at Draftkings, and you can see the line is 3 currently, 110 on each side. 48 is the total. If you want to take the Jags on the money line, 157. If you want the Dolphins on the money line, 138. If we're sitting over here at Fanduel, 3 on both sides, but a little bit of juice if you want the Miami Dolphins at +3, -115 over here. 138, 164 on the money lines. 48.5. So we're actually a half point higher over here on the total over at BetMGM. We'll take a look, and you can see right here, it is 3, 110 on each side. They are also at 48.5, 130, and 154 on the money line there. So I'll click over here, and you can kind of read along as to this breakdown as to what's going on in this game as I kind of start to talk about how this is going. This thing did open at 47.5, so you can see the total has started to tick up a little bit. Dolphins are 0-2, 1-1 against the spread. Jaguars 1-1, 2-0 against the spread. Actually, this game's happening in Florida, so you don't have to worry about it being cold or snow or anything like that. And since both teams are from Florida, you don't have to worry about one of the teams kind of gassing out or anything like that when it comes to the heat and humidity that is still present this time of year. You don't really have to worry about that since both of these teams are accustomed to that as well. Now, on the Dolphins side of the ball, there are some injuries that we're going to be dealing with. I'll scroll a little bit as you can read along. Xavier Howard, questionable for this game. Byron Jones, likely to be out for this game. Devontae Parker is going to play most likely, but he's always dealing with this hamstring injury, so we know that's a little bit scary when it comes to wide receivers. Shaq Lawson also on the injury report. On the Jaguars side, they're actually pretty healthy when it comes to all of their key players heading into this one. Scroll down a little bit further as you want to continue to read along here. In the Dolphins offense, guys, Dolphins offense, 22nd in team offense DVOA. Nothing to write home about. 18th in pass offense, 20th in rush offense. But Fitzmagic actually did throw for 328 yards last week, a couple of touchdowns, and no picks. So, look, good for him. That's actually pretty good. Myles Gaskins kind of won that running back job there for them, and this guy just is pretty good. I mean, look, he's going to get 15, 16 carries. He's going to catch you a handful of balls as well. Pretty interesting that Gaskin actually has won that job as handily as he has. On the Jags offensive side of the ball, top 5 offense in the NFL in terms of EPA per play through the first 2 weeks. Can you believe that? This Jaguars team that we thought was going to be tanking for Trevor. We thought they'd be going for Trevor Lawrence. We thought they'd be losing nearly every game they played, and here they are, one of the top offensive teams in all the league, number 6 offense DVOA through 2 weeks. Small sample size. Still pretty interesting, right? Gardner Minshew goes for 339, career high last week. 3 touchdowns for him. James Robinson, the undrafted rookie free agent, they cut loose on Leonard Fournette, and James Robinson comes in, goes for 102 yards last week. Laviska Shenault, their draft pick, is lining up in the backfield. He's getting carries. He's getting receiving yards. I mean, there's averaging nearly 30 points per game, this offense. So pretty interesting from an offensive standpoint. Continue to scroll here for you so you can read along on that. But Dolphins defense in this game, guys. This is where this thing could be won or lost, or in my case, one of the bets that I'm looking at. 32nd grade in pass coverage when it comes to Pro Football Focus. If you know about Pro Football Focus, and if you don't, let me explain. Pro Football Focus goes in and watches every single play of every single game and grades every single player on every single play of every single game. So when they say that the pass coverage is bad, pass coverage is probably bad. They've gone in and looked at every single person that's in pass coverage on every single play of every single game and rated that. So far, look, small sample size, things can change. That being said, 2 weeks in, worst pass coverage in all of the NFL, allowing 286 pass yards per game, 31st in rush defense as well, DVOA. Not great, giving up 26 points per game, this Miami defense. And they have allowed 12 passing plays of 15 or more yards already on the short season. So just think about that. Lots of yards, lots of things given up by this defense. On the other hand, Jaguars defense actually been pretty stout against the run, pretty bad against the pass. Actually, they're 31st DVOA against the pass. So, I mean, like, both of these teams, bad against the pass. Secondary kind of started to show their youth last week. They traded away A.J. Bouye, so he's out of town. Of course, you know Jalen Ramsey's gone as well. He's with the Rams. So what was once used to be like kind of the powerhouse part of this team was the defense, and especially the secondary, no longer the case here. And Ryan Tannehill last week threw for 4 touchdowns against this team. So just something to think about whenever you're looking at the Jags defense as well, giving up about 26.5 points per game. So let's look here and start to break down things. We talked about this being 3 points, as you can see at DraftKings. And let's go over here and let's make a case for the under. So if we want to make a case for the under, we're going to do that at either MGM or Fanduel, because remember, there's that half point involved over here. So let's go over here to, we don't want to pay the juice actually at Fanduel, so we'll come over here to MGM. Under 48.5, let's make a case for the under. One way you can make a case for the under, despite the defense being pretty bad, is the Jags play slow. So 2 weeks into the season so far, the Jags have the absolute slowest, dead last in situation neutral pace in all of the NFL. So they are the slowest playing team that there is. Then you look at Miami, and they're actually 17th. So they're in the bottom half of the league as well. So you have the very slowest team to go along with a team that's in the bottom half as far as pace goes. That's not good when it comes to allowing for an over, so that could be a case for the under. Another case for the under could be for the fact that, hey, look, at the end of the day, yeah, the Dolphins have had to play catch up, and Fitzmagic is really good at playing catch up. However, that doesn't always work out, right? I mean, that's not really a successful game plan. It's like, let's get way behind and have to play catch up. That's not the greatest strategy on the face of the planet. I mean, so maybe they get behind in this game and just really can't get anything going on the offensive side of the ball at all, right? I mean, so there's a chance that this Dolphins offense actually just doesn't ever get a chance to start clicking. And what about if the Jaguars happen to get up pretty big in this game? Do they lean on James Robinson, who, by the way, has been doing really, really well at the running back position? So now at that point, are they run, bleed the clock? So if you're looking at the over, that's one. If you're looking at the under, there's some cases for the under. Now, if we want to play the over, we'll head back over to DraftKings because, again, we get that half point. So the over here on DraftKings, over 48.5. So let's talk about how we want to go about playing this. Case for the over, pretty simple. 31st and 32nd graded pass defense, actually ranked pass defense according to DVOA. 32nd graded pass defense, according to Pro Football Focus, is the Dolphins. So you have two secondaries that are giving up yardage left and right, not covering anybody, and giving up yards in chunks. We just mentioned on this Dolphins defense just a second ago, 12 pass plays of 15 or more yards just in week 2, right? Just in week 2 that they gave that up. So when you're giving up these giant chunk plays, obviously that is a way that you can get to an over because the defenses are giving up big, huge plays and doesn't run a lot of time off the clock. And look, let's also just be real. I love watching Ryan Fitzpatrick play. I know you do too. Fitzmagic, whatever. That being said, he turns the ball over. He will throw a pick or two in this game. That is a given. That is just what Ryan Fitzpatrick does. What happens when you give the other team the ball? Usually short field situations, things like that, turnovers equal points. If you're looking at the over in this game, explosive offense so far from the Jaguars. I can't believe I'm even saying that, but here we are 2 weeks in the season, explosive offense with the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew playing at an all-pro level. And you actually have some decent little weapons there. James Robinson out of the backfield has proven to be a pretty good weapon for them. Laviska Shenault, one of their draft picks, is a kind of a gadget player all over the field. DJ Chark actually made his bones last year and has continued that this year. Keelan Cole has a pretty good rapport with Gardner Minshew as well. And then, as we mentioned, Ryan Fitzpatrick just seems to get it done in garbage time, just seems to get it done when the team gets behind. He's got weapons. Devontae Parker, Preston Williams are really, really great. Mike Gesicki is one of the rising tight ends in all the NFL. So if you're looking at the over, a way to go for the over there. So let's look at some of these player props. And so player props, I don't really bet these, first score things or anything like that. Passing yards, no play here for me on Fitzpatrick or Minshew as far as passing yards. It's a lot of passing yards. If that lets you know what at least what these props are telling us is there should be yards. There should be chunks of yards. You can see 264 on him there, 270 on Fitzpatrick even over here at Fanduel. Over at BetMGM, if we come over here, you can actually click the player props tab right there. And it's a little different layout, but you can still find what you're looking for. And you can see Fitzpatrick at 269.5 and Minshew at 268.5 over here. No play for me there. On the rushing yards, listen, James Robinson, if I like points, if I think the defenses are bad, I'm going to lean more towards overs. That being said, I could definitely see a situation where one of these teams gets out ahead of the other one to where running backs end up getting game scripted out of the game plan. So that's why I don't really want to get involved with Robinson or Gaskin. Now, listen, if you do, it would be an over or pass for me on both of those guys. But you could see a situation where either one of these teams gets up 2 scores and then these running backs kind of get game scripted out from running the ball. It's just pass. So that's why I'm kind of avoiding the rushing props here on this one, especially considering we're not looking at 2 different guys that have any sort of history of being bell cow backs for these teams. We don't really know that the touch share is going to hold up. We're literally have a 2-week sample on both of these guys. So that's why I'm kind of like not looking at those right there. That being said, on the receiving side of things, that's where we're looking at the overs, and that's where I'm really excited about things. First and foremost, I'll be playing over on DJ Chark. You can take a look right here. 52.5 over here on DraftKings. I'll close these out on FanDuel. You can see 52.5 over here as well. So identical over here on FanDuel. And then when you head over here to BetMGM, you can see Chark is actually at 51.5. So if you want the over on Chark, you're going to go ahead and BetMGM 51.5. We'll take the free yard, right? Let's take the free yard, and we're going to go over on him on here. Listen, they are going to have success through the air, and I understand that DJ Chark has not been the primary receiver so far, which is kind of crazy to think for Gardner Minshew. It's been kind of Keelan Cole. It's kind of been James Robinson out of the backfield. I imagine that gets back to normal here. That gets back to DJ Chark being the absolute alpha in this wide receiving core here. So really do like the over on Chark here at 51.5 over at BetMGM. The other thing I like here, I think the Dolphins are going to be playing from behind in this game maybe. And even if not, I think the only way you're going to be able to move the ball on this team is to be able to throw. So you look at Gesicki here, 49.5 over here on FanDuel. On DraftKings, 49.5 over here on FanDuel. We come over here to BetMGM, and you can see a huge difference. Look, 45.5. It is 49.5 over here on DraftKings. It is 45.5 over here on BetMGM. We are taking the over on Gesicki as well. This guy's running routes. He's not staying in and blocking. They're using him essentially as a wide receiver. Big, huge, athletic dude. He's going to catch some passes in this game. Really do like the over on Gesicki as well of 45.5. So we're going to take the over on Chark. We're going to take the over on Gesicki. We're getting the best price both times over here on BetMGM. Don't have to tell you if you've been watching this channel for a while, if you're just stumbling across us, any of the states that you live in, you need to have multiple accounts because of the reason I just showed you. That is a difference of 4 yards in a prop that you can get between the various books. Just go up here to US Sports Betting on the lines, click on your state, and you're going to get the best offer that's humanly possible. Some of them are free money, some of them are free bets, all of that. But be sure and take advantage of all that. Don't be the guy that's sitting there like with one account and always and taking the worst number for no reason when you can easily go and get a better number just by signing up for another account. On the side in total, guys, let's go up here, and I'm going to be playing at Draftkings because I am playing the over, and I don't want this hook that we're finding over here on both of Fanduel and BetMGM. So let's go over here to Draftkings. We're going to play the over on 48. As I mentioned, guess who has the 5th overall Pro Football Focus rated offense in the NFL? Shocker, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then to help us out getting to the over, both of these teams are 25th and 26th in pass rush as well. So we talked about how bad their secondaries were. Their coverage grades are terrible. Dolphins dead last in coverage grade. Their defense and pass defense DVOA is terrible. And then they don't have any pass rush to go along with it anyway. So we're going to have both of these quarterbacks that have all day to throw the ball. So, I mean, everything is leaning towards an over. If you want to lean towards an over even more, how about this fact? Jacksonville actually has a top 10 rush defense so far through the short season. Now, that could change. Small sample size, as we're always saying with the caveat here. However, a top 10 rush defense. So if you can't run the ball, what do? You got to pass. If you pass, you get yards in chunks. And then when you don't, the clock stops when it's an incomplete pass. So that extends the game. Jacksonville's only given up 3.8 yards per carry so far this season. So that helps us get to the over as well in this game, which is my play. Guys, I don't have a side here that I like. If I had to play a side, I'd play the Dolphins. Probably wouldn't even play them straight up. I would probably try to look to play them in a teaser, get it off of the 3 through the 7 and past the 8 as well, which we know is kind of becoming a little bit more of a key number in this era of the extended extra point and whatnot. So, again, lean to the Dolphins. Probably wouldn't play it at 3. More likely in a teaser to get it up through that. If you wanted to play the over in a teaser as well, if you want instant gratification and you're looking for like a single game teaser, if you want to get the Dolphins up to 9 and the total back down to 42 and go with over, listen, I don't hate that either. I understand. You don't want to wait on you want your bet to come home on Thursday night. I get it. I understand how it works. But for me, big play for me is going to be the over in this game and those props that we talk about. I think there's going to be offense. I think that we're going to be looking at especially Gesicki, Chark having big days. If you wanted to look at some of the other pass catchers as far as overs as well, maybe even some of the reception props as far as overs, I think those are all in play here. I expect offense. I know Thursday night games have been kind of sloppy in the past. That being said, early in the season, no home field advantage in these games. You know, the travel, very little travel in this game. They're 2 Florida teams. So there's a lot of stuff where you're going to hear a lot of what I consider to be noise between now and kickoff here about Thursday night games and travel and whatever. I mean, home field advantage doesn't exist. Travel's right down the road. It's a weird season anyway, so there's nobody in the stands. There's a lot of different things. It's early in the season, so it's not like you're sleeping when you're not sleeping in your own bed or you're traveling or something like that. It's like this big inconvenience. So anyway, a lot of the stuff you're going to hear is in my opinion noise between now and kickoff. But again, guys, just trying to help you get to where you want to be in your bet. Try to help you become a smarter, better, more educated better, because at the end of the day, I don't want you to blindly tail me. I want you to figure out why you're betting, and feel good about it. And if you win, you win. If you lose, but at least you know you made the bet for a reason, and you feel good about the reason that you made that bet. So hopefully we win, though. Hopefully we win on Thursday night and keep this winning streak going. We're doing so far so good here in week 2. As I said again, please hit that subscribe button. Really do appreciate getting that subscriber number up. Want to get more people to the channel if at all possible. It really does help support everything that we're doing. A thumbs up helps as well. And then, of course, in that comment section, let us know how you're playing the game. If you think I'm full of crap, fine, tell me. That's fine. If you want to fade me, do that as well. But I as long as you're watching and you're getting something out of this, then that's all I really care about here. Head over to the lines and get the full written breakdown here. And, of course, if you need to sign up, go ahead and sign up at a sportsbook at any of the sportsbooks because we have the best offers there is on the planet. Other than that, guys, good luck here on your bets Thursday night.